Hello, welcome to the DC Overlord channel. I am the DC Overlord, and today we are going to be talking about my picks for the DCU Fancast of Paradise Lost. This was kind of difficult to do because I don't know what characters are going to be present. I have an idea of what it might be, but I could be completely wrong. So, we're going to talk about it right now. So, these are my picks. I also don't know what the decision is with Gadot. So, I have something in mind, but I don't know if it's gonna be like this. So, I don't really know the decisions of whether or not she's getting recasted or not, but this is what I would do. First of all, we have Melina Kanakaredes as Hippolyta. I think she would make a tremendous Hippolyta. I mean, Hippolyta in this case would probably be playing a major role in the show. She's the queen of Themyscira. She is ruling the island, and I think you would have to have an actually Greek actress play the role. I think it would be kind of a crime to not have her be Greek because, I mean, it's literally Hippolyta from the Greek mythologies. I don't think everyone needs to be Greek, but I do think that Hippolyta should be Greek because it's just part of her story and it's part of her culture. It's kind of the whole point as to why they're on the island in the first place. Then I would have Rose Leslie as Artemis. You might recognize her from Game of Thrones. She's also been in a couple of other works. You know, I did kind of joke around about it casting Becky Lynch as Artemis, but I think you would go for a little bit of a younger Artemis so that she grows up with Diana, and you would have her be fierce and competitive, but you wouldn't necessarily have her be, the same artist that we know in the comics yet. I mean, I don't even know what timeline we're working with when it comes to Paradise Lost. I don't know how old everyone is supposed to be, but I kind of tried to judge it based off of what I'm familiar with in, like, the comics and everything. Well, even then, it's like, I don't really know what everyone's ages is supposed to be. Then I'd have Danielle Truitt be Phillipus. Phillipus, the tremendous Amazonian. I considered a few people for this role, but I ended up with Truitt because I think it's probably the most viable. Like, I did consider some actresses from Black Panther, but I think that maybe their schedules might not allow for them to do, like, a TV series, even if it's like a mini TV series. So I kind of looked for someone that wasn't part of that group. And so I landed with Danielle Truitt. Then we have Charlize Theron as Circe. I could see a few different people playing Circe, to be honest. I tried to go for a little bit more traditional route. Kind of someone who has played a villain before. And kind of has that kind of sultry attitude and kind of feeling of that. But not necessarily the only pick. I definitely have some others on that list, but I think it would be an interesting pick to go for Circe. Then we have Leslie Odom Jr. as Hades, just going for kind of a young Hades, kind of, not young, but someone who can, like, have a lot of charisma. The gods themselves, they don't really matter as to what they look like, as they can change their appearance at any time anyways. But I feel like having someone who is very charismatic as Hades is kind of a necessity, kind of. There's not really a definitive look for Hades in the comics, so it doesn't really matter. Then we have Jude Law as Zeus. I think he would be perfect for Zeus. I think he's great at playing that, like, leadership role. And then I would have Oscar Isaac as Ares. I think he would just fit in really well. I think he'd kind of be a little bit younger, kind of be a little bit pompous, a little bit, and even a villain, in a sense. Then I have Emma Thompson as Hera. Thinks that she matches the age for Hera, is what I would imagine. I think she would also get along really well with Jude Law, and kind of having that bantering relationship with him. Then we're gonna have Tilda Swinton as Medusa. I considered her for a couple of roles, but I think her as Medusa would make the most sense. It would also kind of fit with the kind of whole vibe, what we're going with, and I think having Medusa on the show would be a big pull as well. Then I have Gal Gadot as Athena. So, of course, this kind of depends on whether or not we're recasting Wonder Woman. And I know this show does not have Diana in this show, but I did cast Diana in case you would include them at the end. We don't really know what the timeline is, so I think having Gal Gadot be Athena would kind of just be the next step of seeing, okay, we're actually recasting Wonder Woman, and this is what we're doing. We're gonna have Gal Gadot be kind of a mentor to the new Wonder Woman, the new Diana. And I would have Diana was a tough pick because I was considering 5 different actresses, and the thing is, you do want Wonder Woman to be young if you're recasting her. It doesn't make sense to recast her and have her be the same age. So I did kind of look at their ages a little bit to kind of consider, okay, how old would they be when they're doing Paradise Lost compared to Gal Gadot? Would they be the same age? There are a lot of actresses that are apparently the same age as Gal Gadot. So I kind of eliminated them from their process because I feel again, it doesn't really make sense to recast for someone older or the same age. It doesn't really make any sense. So I ended up settling with Alexandra Daddario as Diana. I think that she would have an interesting take. She's young. She's still kind of growing a bit. And she has room to kind of grow into Diana as a character. She has room of developing her. And I think that having her kind of a similar age to someone like Superman would make sense. And so I ultimately went with her. And then the kind of ended. I had Marie... I'm so sorry. Avgeropoulos? No, that's not it. I know Greek names are difficult. But Marie as Donna Troy. I think the two of them, they look very similar. I feel like they could do Diana and Donna respectively. I think Alexandra, a little bit more experience of an actress, has a little bit bigger of a resume, has more evidence that she can in fact act. Marie, not as much, but she still has a good resume. She has a good kind of IMDb record. So both of them kind of work hand in hand with each other, and Donna will always look a little bit different from Diana. So I think that this kind of actually works. They should be of kind of similar age anyways, because with Donna, she's technically supposed to be the mirror twin of Wonder Woman, Diana. So it's kind of a little bit complicated, but that's ultimately what I would have her be. That's kind of the choices that I made for casting. Again, I don't really know I don't know what the show is going to be. I really don't know. All I know is taking place on Themyscira. It's gonna be focusing on it's gonna be focusing on the Amazonians, and it's not really gonna have too much Wonder Woman anyways, except maybe at the end we kind of have the final reveal of Wonder Woman. It kind of depends on the timeline in which this show is taking place. Honestly, that's ultimately what it comes down to in terms of figuring out age and figuring out what we're gonna do for this new Wonder Woman. I don't know. I don't have any details. I'm sure they have a lot more details in their own little vaults and everything. But what do you guys think? I mean, I know some people are probably going to be like, maybe not. But, I tried to kind of figure out, okay, who is young enough and who is experienced enough to have that kind of role in the DCU. And I think out of all the ones that I was looking at, and I looked at it a lot. I looked at a lot for Diana. I definitely think Alexandra is the higher option, just because of her age and experience. Like, there are like a couple of actresses that I was considering, but they're literally the same age as Gal Gadot, and so I was like, okay, that doesn't really make sense. that doesn't really make any sense. Doesn't really make any sense to recast someone who's the exact same age. Like, it kind of defeats the purpose of the recasting. But again, I don't even know if Gal Gadot is going to be recasted. If she's not, great. If she is, great. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. We're be doing more of these. I mean, we're going to go through the whole list, and then we're going to start doing, like, my own film ideas and stuff like that. So definitely subscribe for more content like this. All the DC content. Leave a like on this video. And comment down below who you would cast in these roles as well. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!